change the course of this. It's my pick next, and I've got to pick the person who's in 13th. And when I start looking at this list, I see Barella, I see Benzema, I see Diaz, Haaland, Jorginho, Kante, Lewandowski, Suarez, Lukaku, Messi, Ronaldo, Salah. And it's between two people for me. It's between two people.
Who are the two?
Mohamed Salah and Bruno Fernandes.
What's your criteria for the Ballon d'Or? Like, what's your thinking behind it?
My criteria for the Ballon d'Or is the same as my criteria for every single player debate, whether we single it down to a year or whether the only thing I take out is longevity, because you can't have longevity in a year. Like, it's a madness. So stats are one thing, outputs and when you deliver. Mm-hmm. Big game performances, as an example, so clutch moments, etc. And then winning the trophies. And I said it last night, trophies are the, for me, biggest commodity when it comes to voting for the winner, because every now and then you'll get a player at a much lesser club like a Villarreal and someone ups themselves for a year and do very, very well. The difference is when you play for a Man United, when you play for a Bayern Munich, when you play for a Liverpool, a City, whoever, Chelsea, Barca, the expectation is that losing one game is turmoil. The pressure that comes with that and for you to deliver is ridiculously high. So for me, the only reason, I mean, I'm going to get called bias here, but I can only pick one person. I'm picking Mo Salah next, only because over Bruno by one decision. Bruno Fernandes as a midfielder in 2021 has 26 goal contributions. No midfielder in world football has contributed more goals than him. That, for me, is an elevator based on the things I gave you. Mo Salah has the stats, okay? But when it comes to the big games at the back end of last season for Liverpool, as in sort of knockout tournaments, cup competitions, they were already out of top four. No one at Liverpool was delivering. The same as it doesn't. So him and Bruno share that. Neither of them have that. At the most pivotal moments last year, the team crumbled, essentially, and they're part of that team. Mo Salah scored a lot of goals, so did Bruno, but Bruno was the highest goal scorer midfield player last season, by the way, in the history of English football. That's the only thing that elevates him in the calendar year above Mo Salah for me. So Mo Salah is going to be my next pick. By the way, like, everyone knows how much I love, but the problem is everybody else left on this list has won something. So for me, no, but I'm talking about Bruno and Mo Salah. I can only pick one. And the only reason Bruno goes above him is because Bruno broke a record in 2021 of being the highest goal scorer midfielder ever. You know, that as a statistical output deserves an element of celebration. But for me, like, Bruno can't even be in the top 10. He hasn't won a trophy. You know,
by the way, Benzema never won anything.
By the way, we've discounted some players who have won trophies, but that's because it was a summer tournament. And outside of that, they haven't done too much. If Portugal had won the Euros and Bruno had scored all he did, and we'd won the Europa League final, and he'd have, you know, scored a goal in that or whatever it is, or assisted a goal, then I'll be saying, like, there's an argument for top 10, top 5, but he didn't deliver those trophies. And I'm always going to remain true to myself. Winning trophies is the difference, because, you know, I look at the Mbappe argument. I agree with it to a certain degree, because in the semi-final, in the second leg of the quarterfinal, in the semi-finals, I know he had a bit of an injury for the second leg, but Mbappe didn't turn up. And it's like, that's when you completely needed it. No one in PSG turned up. And that's when you need your players. And that's why I regard the likes of Didier Drogba in the history of the game so highly, because at times when Chelsea needed him, he stood up. And I can't rate that in Drogba as being something that stands him above lots of people that have scored more than him and better 90 per minute ratios, and then not use that same logic when I'm picking my Ballon d'Or winner. I can't hypocrisy. So I'm going to pick two to make this easy. I'm picking Mo Salah and Bruno Fernandes next to each other.
Benzema never won anything, but to be fair to Benzema, he single-handedly carried that Real Madrid team, and he's probably the most impactful player on this list who has not won anything.
So Salah didn't carry Liverpool?
No, but not to the extent that Benzema was doing everything. He was their main creator and their main goal scorer. For France, he was dominating.
Wait, when Liverpool were injured, when the whole team was injured and they were telling us, Salah was the one keeping.
If you want to put Salah higher than Benzema, make your case. But in my opinion, when you look at Benzema's season, this guy, 33 goals. what is it? 14 assists or 13 assists. He killed it for France. Killed it for Real Madrid.
No. Don't twist history. He didn't kill it for France. Don't twist history. Because we're not going to remember. We're not going to remember in the group stages. He wasn't that great. Let's not twist history.
Okay, listen. At the end of the day, if you end the tournament and you look back, you're going to say people who had good performances throughout the tournament. It was Benzema. Benzema did have.
I'm not going to remember Benzema.
He might not have. You know
what though?
He might not have dominated as much as you guys want. But he did have a good tournament.
But my
logic remains the same though. When I'm looking at all the other players that are left in this list, you know, I don't really. By the way, I'm not really too fussed about the order. Benzema can go before Mo Salah. Mo Salah can come after Benzema. Ronaldo did he win anything last year? Ronaldo? I don't think he did.
Yeah, he won the Coppa Italia.
Okay, so he won one trophy, so he goes above them. So I don't really care which one goes around it. I'm just looking at everybody else left on that list. They've had very good years statistically. Some have won multiple trophies. Some have broken records. Some have won international and domestic trophies and been pivotal in their team winning. As great as Benzema, Mo Salah, Bruno's outputs all were as players, the others did very similar things, like in ballparks, but won trophies. I don't think we can discount the winning of I won't discount winning trophies. If you guys think we should, then maybe we should. But I'm quite happy. I mean, would we put then Benzema outside the top 20? Or sorry, in the top 20, but not in the top 10? Like 11? Or do anyone think he should be in it?
Me personally, I understand how good Barella is, but I'm taking all three of those guys above. Oh, no, sorry. Apart from Bruno, I'm taking two of those guys. Actually, no, I'm taking Bruno as well. All three of those guys above Barella.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Yeah, it wasn't.
People are calling me biased, but I put Bruno in that category. People like everyone knows I love Bruno and I love Salah. I'm just sticking true to my thought process. But so who's going to be number? Who's going to be number 11? Who's going to be number 11? Igal, it's your pick, to be honest, bro.
Okay, can I see the list quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I assume you're going to be picking Barella.
But the thing is, I also have a case for Ruben Diaz to be in that similar spot.
What?
Why, Gal?
What? Because I just don't think. I just don't value defenders on the Ballon d'Or list. When it comes to Ballon d'Or, I value attackers outputs more than I value defenders, and that's just the history of how the Ballon d'Or has been given.
Forget the history. This is the football terrace. What do you think? What do you think, bro? Forget the history. Do you think that a defender whose team have one of the best defensive records in the history of the Premier League and wins the Premier League, that shouldn't be recognised?
No, that's not my pick. That's not my pick. I was just saying honourable mention. I would look at him, but my pick is Nicolas Barella.
So Guna Express, who comes in 10th position for you, my friend? Who's in 10th position?
I mean, I'm probably gonna have to go for. This is a difficult one, you know. It's between Diaz, Haaland and Benzema, and the only reason it's between those three is Haaland obviously has the most goals in the Champions League, which is at his age a very impressive feat. He has a lot of goals as well in the Bundesliga, but he did score less than Silva, and he also scored less than Lewandowski. Obviously, the trophy is there, but I think for me, it's going to have to be Benzema on the recency bias and the trophies. He won nothing, which again, you can score 100 goals in a season, but if you don't win a trophy, is it really that impressive? Like, obviously it's impressive, but does it help your team? No. And as well, I think a lot of it with Benzema's recency bias. Obviously, he's been probably the best player as of recently, like since the start of the season. But was he better than like Erling Haaland last year? Like as in at the beginning of 2021, January time? I don't think he was. I don't think people were talking about Madrid that much because they weren't too impressive. So I'm probably going to go Benzema. I think he just it's very close between Erling Haaland and Benzema, but I'm going to go for Benzema.